And when you finish, or when you added a comment like this, which is when you finished, and also when you type in the numbers, this will be the number. And if the number is in decimal, you type in 5 space, for example, 5 space 600.5, like this, in a decimal. Decimal, I suggest you just type dot, 5 dot space 600.5. This is in decimal, all right? So just be careful, because I will use the computer, and you know that it won't be as dynamic as I do, but I will also check it to ensure safety. So you can be safely or equally scored or anything. So, and after that, you can mark as done, mark as done, so that I know that you have finished it and you have handed in my work in a certain time, because they will send me the status and also send me the date and time at which you sent me this button. Hey, no work attached. Don't worry, because you've added comment. And I'll see it here, and nobody else can see it. Not your classmates, only me. So I can score you correctly. And remember to type them all in one comment. Don't type 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, 4 cent. Just everything in one comment, so that it can be easily scored. And that's basically it. Today's homework, I haven't given you the instruction yet, but on the next section or so, I expect you to do this, and I expect you to hand in your work a bit earlier than class, so that I would know that you've done this in advance. And today I will fix the homework and also introduce you to some quite new mathematics concepts, which you might encounter.
Question.
All right.
If the answer is in square root, how do I type it?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. You can just type in there rounded to like um so the furthest one to third decimal. For example, square root of 2 is five. You have then question number 6, square root of 2, 1.441 4. You type it like this. You don't write the square root, because on the SAT you can't write square root. You everything on the SAT, even the mixed numbers, which is mixed numbers. It's like this, but you have this is a mixed number. This is a mixed number, and when this happens, you're gonna have to add them up to, so it can be looked like fraction. So on the SAT, you can only use mixed numbers. No, not mixed number. Only use fraction and or decimal. They are the only two things you can use, because you can't use square root, you can't use power or any notation, mathematics notation. You can only use fraction and or the decimal point. They are the only two notation that you can use. You can see it here in the let me open up my compilation. My official tests. Yeah, official tests. Let's do it. April US. You can see the guide they've pointed out. Essentially, you wait. Let me scroll that here. This is the students' response section, and you can only use the decimal. This is the decimal. This is the dot, the decimal dot, and this is the fraction. And on the digital SAT, which I will introduce it to you on a later session, but basically you can there are still 3 or 5 boxes. In this case, they will have 5 boxes, and you will type in, instead of bubbling in, you type in the answer. But essentially, you will have to follow the only either decimal or fraction. All right. So anyway, if you come up with any kind of question or answer, try to make them to a decimal numbers or a fraction. Right. Great question. Any other question? If not, we will go to our homework. We'll fix and we'll introduce some related knowledge on our homework. All right. Share screen. Hang on a sec. All right. At the end of a week, I will send you the notes. All right. So if this is the last mathematics session, I will send you the note later because there might be times when we haven't finished our last session. So I'm going to send you the notes on the last session of a subject, for example, writing, reading, or maths on its last session of the week, in a week. And we will go to the April 13th, 2022. Remember, this is our homework. And I believe, if I remember correct, oops, that shows my answer already. Let me erase it. All right, this is our homework. And you can see that there are two sections, section 3 and section 4. I would expect you not to use your calculator on section 3. And I would expect you to use your calculator on section 4 because on section 3, there are only theoretical questions and kind of the answers, you can just calculate them based on your just numbering, simply numbers. And all right, let's continue, shall we? Oops, let me turn on my document first. Excuse me a second. All right. All right, the first question is the slope related question. This is the linear graph question. For those who haven't got used to what a linear equation is, linear equation is basically a monomial. No, it's not a monomial. It's to the power of 1. Basically, it is to the power of 1. For example, y is x squared plus 2. This is not a linear equation. But if you say y is x plus 2, this is a linear equation. And what is a linear equation? What are the components of a linear equation? I will add another page here. In a linear equation, you have this form. Y is ax plus b. Whereas where y and x are the location of the dots, the point on the linear line, the graph. X, Y are the coordinates. I keep using location. The coordinates of if we say a point, A or B, x2, y2. There will be infinite number of coordinates that will satisfy the equation. And these, for example, I have a point A, and I have a point B, and I have a point C, and I have a point D, point N. And they all satisfy the relationship between Y and X. They all satisfy this equation. For example, I have this equation, x plus 2. Let's see. Y is x plus 2. Firstly, I have the number. If x and y, x is 1, I will get y is 3. 2 and just plus 2, it's 5. 3, 2, no, it's 4. 3 is 5, and so on, so forth. N is n plus 2. And they summarize it as x is x plus 2. This is the relationship between x and y. And basically, this is the linear equation. And you have n dots, right? And you can just draw a single line because they are infinitesimal, just infinite number of points. For example, you can have 1.1111112 and 3.11112. Like that, they are still satisfactory because it's still y is equals x plus 2. It still forms a line. And when you align infinite number of dots, you will have a line, a single line. This will be the resulting, gosh, so that looks so bad. Wait, this will look better. This will be a line. See, that's a perfectly straight line. This is a line which is formed from the infinite number of dots that are satisfactory to the equation. So this is essentially what a graph is. What is a graph? You don't need to note this in. I just explain this to you, that a graph is basically a geometric representation of an equation on the xy axis. What is an xy axis? This is an xy axis. All right. And if I put a line, straight line here, this is a line which is represented on the xy axis. Why is it called xy? Because this, they have two labels. It is called xy. And if I put z in it, it will be xyz. All right. But we don't need to know that because this is not within the SAT. So recap. This is the line, and this is a geometric representation of an equation on the xy axis. Why? Because it satisfies this equation. This is the summation of every single dot that satisfy this equation. So what if I give you this shape? This arbitrary shape. I'm going to give you this equation. This is the polynomial. This is an equation with the power of 3. This is the shape of the power of 3. Just so you know. And what does this represent? It's basically representing in a graph. X is x this something. All right. This is just a representation of this equation. And yeah, that's basically what a graph is. This is a graph. It's not a linear graph. It's not any kind of graph, 3D graph or anything. It's a graph. Any graph is a geometric representation of an equation on any axis. All right. So when you got that in, you see that this is our original form. This is our original formula. And we have to put our emphasis on this formula. I'll create another page. Y is AX plus B. On these, you have two properties, A and B. Or on the SAT, they would say that MX and B, A or M on the SAT is typically, or in America, they would typically refer to it as M. So I'm going to use it an M. So M and B, what is M? M is the slope. What does it mean, the slope? Can anyone give me the definition of a slope? What do you think it means?
Rate of change.
Exactly. That is a I just don't really know how to pronounce it. That's so awkward. It's just a maths concept, right? It is a concept. Mathematical. I'm gonna have to look it up later. This is slope. It's its rate of change. Rate of change of an equation. Exactly. What is a rate of change? It's basically if you have a point here, point A and point B. You draw a line here. Point A is 1, 2. Point B is 2, 3. You see, they are very different. Why are they different? They have different values. And what are the relationship between them? How can we point out the relationship between A and B? We'd say that A has changed to B, but how can we say it? We say that A has progressed to B, but how can we say it? B is larger than A, obviously, but B changes from A on a rate of this. You can see that B has the y-axis one shifted up 1 unit from A, and x-axis shifted to the right 1 unit from A. So you can see that if you move up 1 and you move to the right 1 unit, you get B. This is the rate of change. This is how you would change 2 points on a scale of a line or an equation or a graph. So let's get rid of this. I will give you a point of n with A and B. No, this will be very confusing with X and Y. And you still have it. This is the rate of change. Right? Let me change the color so it will look a bit more apparent to you. This is the rate of change of A and N. So it's not just B, it's any type of dots on the line or on the graph. You can just, or minus N here, it will be the same because it will be like this. You see, this is the rate of change. So basically now we can form our own equation of what a slope is, of what a rate of change is. It will be m equals, you take the last dots. I'll give you this this kind of mnemonic to remember. Rise over run. Rise over run. What does it mean? Rise it up. Run is to the horizontal line. Rise is vertical and run is horizontal. And it means that basically the rate of change of rise is y-axis, delta y over delta x. This is what it means. Okay, but it will be a bit confusing because you can easily mistake x and y, and you will easily write this as delta x over delta y, which I have done so many times, and many of my students have done so, and they have mistaken, and the SAT knows it. Everybody knows it, so they try to trick you on that by placing an option with this on the ABCD. So don't be fooled by this, and remember this mnemonics: rise over run. And by delta y, what did I mean? I meant I'm using different colors. I meant y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the slope. So if I give you m, or for example, I will give you an equation that is y is equal with 2x plus 4. We will get to this, but basically this is the slope. All right, this is the slope. And so I know that it goes up by 2. And how much does it go right or left? Do you know? Is it up by 2? How much does it go right or left? Let's remember this. M is rise over run. Delta y over delta x. Y2, x2. Can anyone guess? All right, Hung.
I said 2.
So it goes up 2, or go left or right 2?
It goes horizontally 2.
Okay, it goes on a horizontally. It goes horizontally 2. That means it goes
Yes.
to the right or the left. This is the
Yes.
right. Okay, right or left. Okay, so he meant this. Go to horizontal. But remember, when it comes to, well, let's see. When it comes to graphs or the rate of change, we will only assess the point after, which is the right point. Because if I say A and what is the lasso tool? Wait a second. Oh, yeah. If I say A here, A, this is B. If I want to compare B to A, I will, if I want to compare a point, I will certainly pick a point that is on the right, but that is just how it usually works. But does it always work like that? Let's choose a point on the left. I would say that this is B comma. No, I would say it's C. And because I want to compare C to A, I will use this as y2 and x2 and y2. And A is x1 and y1. It still stays the same, right? But because C is most certainly on the left, so this will most certainly be a negative sign. But on the y scale, it will define whether or not the shape of the line is up or down. We'll come back to it later, but take note on this, and let's see. This is to the right, right? To the right, it means the point is after A, B is to the right, and C is to the left. He said it's 2. But what if I rewrite this as this? How about this? Can you think if it goes to the left or to the right, or horizontally or vertically? Whether it goes to the left or the right, 2 or 1. Because remember, rise over run. Let's check, all right? This is the rate of change of y, and this is the rate of change of x. And rate of change of x is 1, and rate of change of y is 2. So y goes up 2. And what does the x go? It goes to the right 1 unit. Why is it? Because this is the rate of change of x, and this is positive 1, and it goes to the right 1 unit. So the graph will move like this, up 1 point, up 2 point, and to the right 1 point. This will be the B point. I will erase this. And let's say this is the B on the right. But what if I am to assess the C point, and the C is has the coordinates of x of say 0, right? It would be the same. So, because you think if C is 0, the slope would change, right? But let's see. This shape of slope will never change because the notation, the positive or negative, it will cancel out on the denominator and the numerator. Let's see if C is 0 and y. I will have y2 minus y1. And 0 minus x1. This is the original, the point of the point that we set as our reference point is A. So this is to the left. So it will most certainly x2 will be this will be negative. And we haven't had this. If C is down and it is in lower row, in a lower row than A, this will become positive, right? Because if this is lower, then y2 is smaller than y1, and this will become positive. And if C is higher, then y2 will become bigger than y1, then the slope will be like this. And the slope which goes down, it will be a negative slope. And the slope which goes up, it will be the positive slope. And look, this is the slope. And this defines whether or not the slope goes down or go up. It will be either negative or positive. It will be the result of this equation. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You can take any point, but they will result in the same. Because if, say, you take B point, right? B is to the left, to the right. So it has the x2 bigger than x1. So this will be positive. And y2 is almost certainly be bigger than y1, so it will be positive. And this one, I take C, yc minus ya, xc minus xa. This would be b, and this would be a, b. So it will cancel out. yc minus ya, it'll be because c is in a lower elevation, so it will be smaller than 0 or negative. And to the left, it will most likely be negative. So they cancel out, they become positive, right? These carry the same kind of slope, and they will cancel out, and they will carry the same notation, whether or not it goes up or down. Recap. This is the rate of change of the slope, and the numerator is the rate of change of y, denominator is the rate of change of x. All right. So if y is positive, it goes up. If x is positive, it goes to the right. Vice versa. If y is negative, it goes down. X is negative, it goes to the left. You can easily imagine that, right? And the resulting notation from the equation, my delta y over delta x, will be the slope of our equation, whether m is bigger or smaller than 0 or negative or positive. So don't worry about picking your reference point, whether or not it's before or after a or the point of reference. It will be the same. Back to this equation, I will try to draw this by using our knowledge based on what we've learned. Let's rewrite the equation. Y is 2x plus 4. All right. So if I give you a scale like this, right. If I write, I know that it's 2. So this is -1, -2, -3. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I know that it goes up by 2, right? It goes to the right by 1. So I'm going to pick one point, random point. I'm going to pick -3, 0. Let's zoom it in. -3, 0. And I'm going to go up by 2. I'm going to go up by 2. So it's here. So it goes to the point of -3, 2. And I'm going to move it slightly to the right, 1 unit. So it resulting in this point, -3, 1. All right. So if I draw a line between these 2 points, I will have a graph. Oops, this is so bad. See, it will have a graph. It's not really perfect because I draw so slanted, but you get the idea, right? And it's this. If I had written, or if I had drawn to scale or to ratio, it will cross this point as the 4th unit. But I'm not really much of an artist myself, so this is the 4th unit, the 4th unit on the Y scale. And this is our B point. All right. So this is how you draw a line. This is how you draw a graph. Recap, bit of recap. You take the slope and you take the B point and you put them onto the graph. If this graph, right, you take the B point here, the B point. B point is basically this, 4. So you take 4. 4 is here. And you have 2. So you're gonna basically, you take one random point that moves down by 2. This is how you draw a line a bit more accurately or a bit more easily without having to pick 2 points yourself. You just need to pick 1 point because the 4th point, the first point or the B point is given. Given it is 0, 4. It is y0 for this equation. And you're going to have to move down to 2 unit because this moves up 2 unit. So you move down, or you can just follow the rule, if you want to break the rule a bit, follow the rule. You just moved up by 2, so you have 6, and you move to the right 1 here. So you have 6, 1. 1, 6, sorry. 1, 6. So you draw a line between 4 and 1, 6, and you get a graph. This is a linear graph. And what is a linear graph? It's just a line. And this is a quadratic graph. And this is the graph of equation with the power of 3. Power of 3. And this is the power of 4. Wait, this is the power of 4. All right, remember these shapes because they will come in handy later. But the most tested shapes are the linear shape and the quadratic shape, or a parabola. These are the 2 most tested shapes. All right, so you can just look at it a bit. How can I just put 2 pages together? All right, so let that sink in. And if you have any other questions, let me know before we move on to the next aspect of marks. Let's see.
Mathematical.
Mathematical. Mathematical. Mathematical. Wait. Yeah. It's pronounced mathematical. If you have any questions, because this is a relatively new one, please take note down and or ask me as many questions as you can, as you possibly can. Okay, I will give you two more kind of names to this equation, 2 more values to this equation. Remember I said B is B point. This is exactly the B point. And this is called the y-intercept. Intercept. And this is the result of the equation, which is the cross line between the y0 and the y equation, 2x plus 4. This is the result, and this will be the x-intercept. So if one say, find me the x-intercept of this equation, what they meant by it is find them the result of the equation 0 equals 2x plus 4. This is what they meant by saying find the x-intercept. All right. So if they find the y-intercept, it's basically 0 and the B point, or the 0, 4 in this equation. The y-intercept. Okay, let's apply it. Let's move on and do this quickly. Number 1, Lina, can you tell me the answer? What is the answer of number 1?
The answer is D.
Okay, it's D, because this is the slope. And what is the slope? It's this. The value, this is very simple. You just 2x minus 8x is x is 8, right? D. And this will be the graph of, see, this is what we've learned. Let's see. Arn, can you do this? Can I zoom it in? Hi, sidebar. Right.
No, I'm trying to see it because I don't have my glasses on me right now. Sorry.
All right.
See.
Okay, let's see. So the slope of it is 3, right? And what is the y-intercept?
4.
Yes, exactly. So let's POE. We see everything is 4. So the only thing that differentiates between these equations is the slope. So we can't use 4 to cross out any wrong answer. And we're going to have to rely on the 4. And remember, rise over run, rise over run. Find an equation that goes up 3 units and go to the right 1 unit. And that is, let's see if C is correct. 1, 2, 3, 1. Exactly, it's C. Well done. Next up is this one. Again, a linear graph, and it's very simple. Can you do it, Hung?
4 is C.
Wait, the total amount.
Yes.
All right, let me redefine the slope for you. The slope is the rate of change. Can it be a total amount?
Oh, the slope. I thought the graph. Sorry. The A.
Yes, exactly. The rate of change is basically a repeated pattern. It never is a single value. So you can cross out B, C, and D because B is one value, one single value, one time phi. C is one single value, the total amount, the sum of everything. This is one time phi. This is one amount. The maximum amount is also one amount. So it can never be correct. The only answer which shows a pattern is A, hourly rate, which means it's repeated every single hour. Next is 5. It's very, very easy. Can you give me the answer to this, Lina?
B.
I'm sorry, what is it?
B.
B. All right. B. Let's see. Which equation correctly expresses x in terms of y and z? 2zy is x plus 3. 2zy minus 3 is x. Exactly. Yes. And well, An, can you do the 6th question? If anyone has done this, you can give out your answer in the chat and
A.
I'll check it. All right, A. So if I encounter a question and anytime in this class, if I ask a student, every other student classmates, they'll have to type in the answer on the chat because they'll help you stay engaged so that you will never drag out or lose focus. Okay, so try to type your question every other questions. Type out your answer every other question. All right. Next, oh, I'm gonna have to solve this because it's a bit quite a little bit tricky. 6 is a, let's see, parallelogram, and it has an area of 112. So we have 112 is the biggest area, and you have EBFD. It is 64, and they asked the segment AE. So we can see that we can just calculate the area of this triangle, and then we just use the triangular way of calculating the area to calculate the AE. So we just subtract this by 64, right? EBF, yes, 64, and we divide it by 2. And it is, let me see, 112 minus 64 divided by 2. It's 24. I'm using a calculator, but you can't because I'm the teacher, right? 24. And on this section, try to limit your use of calculator. Of course, you can still use it because the SAT allows you to on the digital SAT, but try to hone your skills a bit. I want to speed up the class process, so I won't hinder you by my horrendous calculating ability. So next is, we have 24 is the area of AEB, 24. So 24 equals 1/2 times AE times BE, right? We have, how can we calculate BE? We have 64, so it's a side of a square. You can just square root of 64 is 8. And you have 1/2 times AE times 8. We have 6, correct? Next up is this. Hung, can you do this for me?
6 is A.
A. So this is A.
Oh, sorry, I meant D. Sorry, I meant D.
All right. So when the star exploded, we're gonna have to read the question. When does the star explode? The function n models the amount of nickel. This is just words. You don't really have to pay too much attention to this because it will distract you. So focus on what matters. The function n in Earth masses, amount of nickel in Earth masses and remaining T days right after a massive star explodes. So they ask when the star exploded. So it's right after the star explodes, which is the y-intercept of the equation, which is 2400, 24,000. It's D. Right, 8. Can you do this for me, Lina?
8C.
C. Either 1 or 2 is sufficient. C or D?
C.
All right, C. Either 1 or 2 is sufficient. So let's recall isosceles. What is an isosceles? In natural science, iso is vertically isometrical. So it means if you have a molecule that's vertically isometrical, it'll be like this, vertically. And on a triangle, they will be vertically isometrical. Vertically symmetrical. All right, so this is a vertically symmetrical triangle. So it is an isosceles. And if I say an equilateral, you have equal, meaning equal. Equi is equal, right, in Greek language. So it is equal on all sides. This is the most important part of an equilateral. That means every single side is equal. That is the most important part. So it is equilateral. And on an isosceles, it is the symmetrical on the top. The two sides are symmetrical to each other. So it's the most important one. So its name is isosceles. So back to this. An isosceles is basically having either two sides that are equal and or just need to angle A and C is equal, correct? And this is quite easy, so I'm gonna have you to do another one on this. Lee, can you do the 9th question? Lina?
I see.
It's C. Let's see. How did you come up with C?
15 minus 81 x
To the
equal
power of
to
4.
equal to 4 plus 3 4 plus 9 x squared total multiply 2 plus 3x multiply 2 minus 3x.
2 minus 3x.
Yes.
Yes. All right. She has applied this equation, this very special equation in mathematics. This is when you have a squared a minus squared b. You will have a plus b times a minus b. This is the resulting equation. A squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b. Remember this. And we apply this to this. 16 minus 81, x to the power of 4. It goes 4 minus 9x squared times 4 plus 9x squared. And again, you will see this is a squared minus b squared. This is just a special equation. And you have 4 or 2 minus what is it? 3x times 2 plus 3x. Very simple, right? 4 plus 9x squared. So we get C because it cancels out. See, 2, 3, they cancel out. C, correct? And solution to the given equation, I will spare you the bore of using the like minus b plus square root of delta over 2a. I'll spare you this process and I'll calculate it by my calculator. And you at home, you should remember this, but it is 7 plus minus 37. If you don't have, or just forget what this equation is how to solve a quadratic equation. This is how you solve it. Delta is equal to b squared minus 4ac. B is from this, derived from this, ax squared plus bx plus c is 0. So b is from this, b squared. All right, so you just minus b plus square root of delta over 20. 2a, sorry.
I'm
Next.
sorry.
All right.
Sorry. The answer to the last question was square root of 61. Maybe perhaps you pressed the calculator wrongly.
Oh, let's see. 3 minus 7 minus. Oh, yes, exactly. So sorry. It's yes, it's D section. Wait, it's B. All right, thank you. I just typed in +1 instead of -1. Excuse me, guys. Next one is the graph showed models by profit. Let's see if we can walk these questions through quickly because I have some very good questions at the end. Which equation represents this model? I'm just going to do it. And let's see. This is 30. We will see this. This is a quadratic equation, but this looks so unfamiliar. These are different forms of quadratic equations. You have one form is the standard form, which is y is ax squared plus bx plus c, and 2 is a factored. No, it's a vertex form. And 3 is a factored form. Or factor form, just no need ed. What is a vertex form? Vertex is this highest or a lowest point of a quadratic equation. This is a vertex and this is also a vertex. It is the most special point on a quadratic equation. It is the top of the bottom. And the vertex form will make clear the vertex. So you will result in this. Y is equal to ax minus. I will have it in red because this minus is very special. you'll get easily mistaken. Minus h plus k. Remember the squared? All right. Whereas where h and k is the coordinates of vertex VHK. This is the coordinate of the vertex HK. And you can move it to the vertex form by y equals ax minus h and k. Remember the minus. And the factor form is basically y is equal to x minus x1 and x minus x2. If I have an equation like y is 2x squared plus 4x plus 1. Let's see if this resulting into very... No, it looks so bad. I'm trying to find the solution that looks integer. Wait a second. Oh. Done. I can't find any equation that looks integer. All right, this one. I have the equation of 1x squared plus 2x. Wait a sec. No, that looks so bad at 2. 3. Never mind, I'll use this. If I have this, x squared plus 3x minus 2. And I have the solution goes like, I have two solutions. First one is x1 minus 3 plus square root of 2, 0, 1. Bear with me right now, but it looks so bad. 48. X2 is minus 3 plus, no, it's minus square root of 201 over 48. All right, how can you move it to the factor form? You just calculate the equation. You just calculate the solution to the equation, x1 and x2. Let me create a page down below, x1 and x2, and you just apply this. What is the a in this equation? Hung, can you tell me what is the a?
A is 1, right?
Yes, exactly. A is 1. X minus 3 plus square root of 201 over 48 times x minus 3 minus square root of 201 over 48. So you can see that this doesn't necessarily have to be a whole number or an integer. You can just have any number right here that satisfy the 2x1 and x2. This is the factor form, and this is the only no, it's not the only way, but the factor form is essentially deriving directly from a standard form, and you just calculate the solution to it, and you just make clear the solutions by placing x1 and x2 down below. This will make clear the solution, and this will make clear the vertex. This is why they have different forms, because a quadratic equation is very special, and they put special care into it, so they create two different forms to it, so that it makes clear three very special points of a quadratic equation, which is firstly the vertex, and secondly the solutions, or the x-intercept. See, these are the very most special points of a quadratic equation. That's why they have different forms to represent that. And on this case, 11, which equation represents this model? Let's see, this is the later point, the point at which the parabola ends. It goes down, right? So this is minus. It is a -1. The slope of A is smaller than 0. And if it goes up, if the last point of a parabola goes up, it will get the A bigger than 0. So this goes down, so this will be incorrect, and this will also be incorrect, and B or C. And this equation, it has the vertex of 30, 50. Let's see if it's correct. I will not look at the C, but I will come up with my own answer. Y is minus, what is it? Minus A times X minus, what is it? H, it means 30. Plus, remember the notation, the negative and the positive, plus 50. So C is correct. C is the only correct answer that matches my equation, minus A. And because these two equations, it shares the same slope. The only thing different is the 30 and the 50. And this only has the 50. So this matches, and I will get rid of this because they are the same. And this matches the equation that I gave out. And again, the 12th question is very simple. 3x is 2x. Minus 8 is equals to 2x minus 4 times 2. It's going to move 2. So it's infinitely many. All right, because the minus A equals minus A for every single x. Infinitely many. Because look, the x cancels themselves out. See? Okay, I'm going to move it fast because I have some very good questions in the back. Which expressions is equivalent to K5? Let me rewrite this. Can I just screenshot this? Let's see if I can screenshot this. Yes, I can. Surprising. All right, which equals to this? K5 over 16. We've encountered this when we were like on the first session, right? K is 3 times 5 is 15, 16. So we just add them together. You have 20 over 16. So it's K5 over 4. You have B. Very simple. All right, these questions, it's getting a bit more interesting. Oh, wait, why did I just screen capture it? A company offers its salespeople 2 different weekly compensation plans. Salespeople on Plan X earns $1,000 plus a 10% commission on their sales each week. Salespeople on Plan Y earns $500 plus 20% commission on their sales each week. Which inequality models does the amount in sales each week D dollars for which salespeople on X earn more than Y? So we have this 20% commission, and this is 10% commission. What is a commission? If you sell $1, you get a commission of 20%. You get $0.20, which is 20 cents, right? You get $0.20 back. That is a commission. It's essentially the reward after you sell one product. There's a commission. And this guy earns a commission of 20%, and this guy earns a commission of 10%. But he is $1,000. He has a starting point higher, but his commission is a bit lower. So what does it represent? Salespeople in Plan X earns $1,000. This is X earns $1,000 plus because they are asking which inequality models the amount in sales each week for which salespeople in Plan they earn more. So this is the earning of people in Plan X. $1,000 plus 10% commission, which is D. D is for the sale. Oh no, models the sales each week. D dollars. Yeah, exactly. D is for the dollars sold times 0.10. This is the commission. And you have Y, they have 500 only. And they have D times 0.20. How can you calculate this? You can just do this. Let's see. You can just do this. X and Y, let's make them equal. No, in fact, let's make them X is more than Y. Make them more than Y. Why not? I won't. Yeah, I will just do it. I make it X is bigger than Y. So 1000 plus D times 0.10. On the SAT, I will make this. They will make this notation. This is the multiplication, and the decimal point, they will have a point, because this is more common in the US, and in Asia, they will most likely use the point as a connotation, as a notation, mathematical notation for a multiplication, and the comma is for the decimal point, but we'll follow the US because the SAT is US based, and I'm gonna have to use this from now on. This times. I know this is the 0.10, and bigger than, what is it? 500 plus D times 0.20. So this is 500 plus D times 0.10 minus D times 0.20. Bigger than 0, bigger than 0. So let's see. 500 is, they are divided. 500 plus this, no, this is minus 0.10 times D, bigger than 0. So I'm going to multiply it by, by 10. I'm going to multiply it by 10. We shift the decimal point up 1 unit, and it'll become here. And so it will become 1.0 D, and 5,000 minus bigger than 0. And now I want to separate the D value. It will become like this: 5,000 minus 0.01.0. It is 1D, which is 1D, 1D, which is 1, just D, right? Bigger than 0. And if I want to move 5,000 here, it's minus D, bigger than minus 5,000. And I multiply each side by -1. And in inequalities, this is an inequality. If you ever multiply by a number that is smaller than 0, you're going to have to flip the side of the inequality. Flip the side of the inequality, you have D smaller than 5,000. It will be A. That's it. Very simple. All right. You guys seem to understand it all, don't you? And continue. 15. What is the equation of the graph show? This is what they call an exponential equation. So recap again. We have this is a quadratic equation. We have this is a linear equation. We have this is the power of third equation. This is the power of fourth equation. And this is an exponential equation. Why do they have those names? Power of 3, power of 4, obvious. And this is an exponential. This is an exponential equation. See, to the power of x. This is what they call an exponent. All right, let's carry on. We have 2x is the same, so we're just going to have to ignore them all. Don't care about them. And the only difference here is the y-intercept, which is 2. What is this? 2 plus 1 minus 1 and minus 2. And we see the y-intercept here is -1. We're going to have to choose C. Very simple. Wait, no. If I shift up. Oh, yeah, no. This is a bit different. This is not the lowest point of the equation. The lowest point of the equation is this. All right. So if I shift, this is the original equation of exponents. They will always be very, very, very close to the x-axis, which is the y equals 0, right? This is the original exponential equation graph. And they will have this for a slope of positive. This is a positive slope, and this is a negative slope. This is a decay, and this is an exponent. And it will always approach 0 and never ever touches it. All right. So if you are to move it down 2 units, you have this. If you ever move this down 1 unit, okay. For example, you just move it down 1 unit. You have -1, and you have like this 1 unit. Yeah, this is the equation at which is moved down 1 unit, and this is not correct. This is moved down 1 unit. But how can we make this to this? We move it down further, move it again 1 unit down, and it approaches 2. So it becomes like this. No, not like this. It becomes like this. See, oh God, it crosses 1, but it's not moving down 1 unit. It moves down 2 units. So you're going to have to be careful on this, because exponential equations, they're very different. They're very different than linear, and it will have, for example, this will also be an exponential equation. Let me redraw it. God, this is so tight. This is an exponential equation. See, this is also an exponential equation. It just needs to have this shape, and they are very different, and the y-intercept is not always the same. So you're going to have to be careful on that one and see whether or not it's moved down 1 unit or 2 unit by looking at the lowest point. So if this is -3 and the lowest point is like this, approaches -3, it means that the equation has moved down 3 units. And if the equation is like this, all right, it approaches +6. So the equation has moved up 6 units. You got it? Very simple, right? So we have, it's not C. I got mistaken with C, but it's not. It is not C. It is D. All right. Got messed up a bit here. So very simple. And I will, yeah, right on schedule. A bit late, but it's a bit. We have covered a bunch of mathematical concepts, so it's a win. 16th question, everyone. What is the value of f0? Lina, can you tell me what is the value of f0?
The value is 3.
Exactly. Just look at the graph, right? It's 3. Correct. What is the positive solution? I'm going to write it down here. It's 17. It's 1. And the graph of a line xy plane passes through the point with coordinates 6, 2 and crosses the x-axis at the point which coordinates the line crosses the y-axis at the point. I'm going to have to solve this. The graph of a line passes through the point this and crosses the x-axis this. The line this crosses the y-axis at the point this. What is the, okay, they're just asking me to find the y-intercept. Just find it. Yeah, you don't really have to draw it out. Use mx plus b, and you have I'm gonna have to pick this as y2, and this is y1. Anything would do. Y2 is 0 minus 2 over 10 minus 6 minus 2 over this is this is 4 to be -1/2 x plus b is y, and you just plug them in. 6, 2, plug them in here. This is 6 and this is 2. 1/2 6 plus b times e equals to 2. and you're gonna have -3 plus b is 2, and b is 4. 18. Let me check it. The graph of a line of xy plane passes through the point with coordinates 6, 2 and crosses the x-axis, the point with coordinates 10, 0. The line cross, yeah.
No, do you mean B is 5 because 3 plus 2 is 5?
Oh yeah, yeah, my mistake. It's 5. All right. So don't make dumb mistakes. That's just my presentation, and don't be like that. The SAT can fool you in many ways, and one of which is the mentality, which I have made many videos on that, and I have suggested many students on that. So never make a mistake on the very last steps. All right. Thank you for pointing out my presentation. All right, this solution, you're just gonna have to multiply them by the common number. This is 4, so it's 12x plus 16. Y is 16. This is multiplied by 3. This is multiplied by 4, so that you can just subtract them down. Multiply by 3 is 12. You see, x. This is minus. So it's minus 9. Y is 0.5 times 3. So it's 1/2. 1.5. So you just add them up, two sides. You're gonna have 16 minus 9 is 7. Y is plus is 7.5, right? So let's see, 7.5 divided by 7 is 2.5. All right, and this is the circle equation, which I will mention this later, but our focus today is about graphs. But the radius of a circle, you just need to use this. This is the center point. And you just need to divide them by -2. So you have the center point of -3 and -5/2. Because you just need to divide the coefficient of x and coefficient of y to -2. And all right, that's startling. And use this equation: a squared plus b squared minus c. C is this, but move to here. So it's x squared plus y squared, blah, 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 plus 45/4. And you're just going to plug them in. Is square root of 9 plus 25/4 minus 45/4. And the result is 2. Let's check. 9 plus 25/4 minus 45/4. Okay, 2. I've been kind of over-reliant on calculators lately for the past 1 year, so my calculating ability is a bit limited now, but I was a monster back then, of course, because I got a perfect score. But you know, the SAT has created you a way more opportunities so that you can use your calculator anytime on any section, math section. So it won't be as straining as it used to be, but you should just hone your mathematics ability. You can just hone your arithmetics, calculating ability, everything. It's good. It's good for your brain. It's good in overall. I've been using calculator a lot lately, not only for the SAT, but many things else. So it's just my habit to have a calculator with me all the time. What is the median? So the median, I'm just going to make a brief introduction what a median, a mean, and the mode is. Median is basically in the middle. Mean is the average. And mode is the most common in data analysis. These are the most important, and you have range also, but we'll stumble on that later. Range, and you have standard deviation, which I promise is a lot easier than it sounds. And these we'll stumble upon them later. And this is the median. Median is the middle. What's the middle of the 25 values? So the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the third one, and the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is this one. The imaginary one here is 3.5, right? The 3.5th point, and this is the third point. And what is the equation you derive from this is, if this is an odd number, you are add them with 1, so 25 plus 1, and divide them by 2. And if it's an even number, you just need to add them by 1 and divide them by 2 also, because look, this is 5. This number array has 5 numbers in it. This array has 5 numbers in it, and you plus 1 and you get, but divide by 2, you get 3, right? 5 plus 1 divided by 2 is 3. And this is 6 plus 1 divided by 2 is 7. Oh, no, sorry, is 3.5. So this is the formula. Just need to use the equation plus 1 over 2. Just need to use the total amount of data values plus 1 divided by 2. In this case, it is the 26 divided by 2 is 13. 13 is basically see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's the 9 value. The median is 9. See, you have 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 5, 2, 6, 1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. And the 9th on this ordered array is 9, the middle part. So if I give you an array like this, 1, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. You're gonna have to order them first before finding out which is the middle part. 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 entries in this array. You're just gonna need to plus 1 and divide by 2 is the 5th value. And how can you calculate the 5th value? You just need to add up these two, the size value, and you have 6 divided, and you just need to divide them by 2. Take the average of them two is 3. So it is 3. The median is 3. So say you're gonna have to order them first. This is the first step, order. And this is the second step, which is find the middle number. This is very easy. You just need to plug in 50 gallons plug in X is 50 and calculate Y for X. And the result is, let's see, result is 200. Result is 200. You just need to plug in 50 to this. This is a very lengthy prompt, but in conclusion, you just need to plug in 50. If you read carefully enough, you can see what to filter out and what is not. Best fit predict a greater Y value than the actual Y. 1, 2, just Oh, no. Greater. So this is the line of best fit. Line of best fit. So if you see, this is the actual values. These dots are the actual values. And if a line of best fits, it predicts a higher value. That means the actual value is lower. So you have 1, 2, 3 lower values below the line of best fits. So it's 3. Right, 34. A is a positive constant. What is the value of A? This is again factoring the quadratic equation. But first step is to factor out x. 6x squared plus 27x minus 54. And you'll have x times 6 something. And you're going to have to calculate the inner part in here, the quadratic equation. 627 minus 54. It is 3/2 and minus 6. X minus 3/2 and x minus 6, so it's x plus 6. And this looks so bad, and because they're asking for minus 3, and I'm supposing I can just wait, can I do this? Is the factor of this, let's see, where a is a positive constant, how can I move this to this? X 6, if I multiply them here, 6x minus 3 times 3 is 9. What's wrong? 3 times 3 is 9, x plus 6. This doesn't look correct. Let me check if I made any mistakes. 34. It's 2. So it can't be. I might have 6 plus 27 minus 54. Here's my 6. Where's wrong? Maybe redo this if possible. Right here, move it up. A is a positive constant. What is the value of A? Ax minus 3. So you move x out. 6x squared plus 27x minus 54 is x still out. And I'm going to calculate the resulting equation, which is 627 minus 54. It's 3/2. Yeah. I can't wait. All right. I think I do know how to solve this. X minus 3/2 times x plus 6. Still like that. But look, if I split 6 into 3 times 2, x minus 3/2, x plus 6. All right, I'm still correct, but I'm smarter than the prompt. So I'm going to multiply in, move it in to x minus 3, and move this in here, 3x plus 18. See, this will be the factoring resulting from this equation, and it satisfies the question, the prompt. This is a bit tricky. It's a bit cheeky, to be honest. And oh, didn't expect that. 34. Right. Please do tell me if you don't understand any part of what I'm explaining. All right, we've run out of time, but I believe I have to explain this one last question. 38th question. Let me screenshot this. Hang on a sec. Screenshot this and move it to a different page. Where is it? Wait, hang on a sec. Oh, here. Right. It's okay, little guy. And all right. A quadratic function can be used to model the height in feet of an object above ground in terms of time in second after the object is launched. So basically, they have this equation, t and h. For t is this, the equivalent of x, and h is the equivalent of y. All right. According to the model, an object was launched into the air from a height of 0 feet. So it begins here and reached its maximum height of 784 feet 7 seconds later. So this is the highest point, 784 feet. And this is the second, the total, the second it needed to be launched to that height, 7 seconds. And it is modeled by a quadratic equation. So it's like this. 7 seconds later, this is the highest point, and look. Basically, this is the vertex, right? You have the coordinates of a vertex is 784. No, it's the other way around. 784. And when they give us the vertex, what do you think of first? Who can tell me what do you think of first? This is a quadratic equation. What do you come up with first? What do you think of when they give out the vertex? Just based on the model, what was the height in feet of the object 3 seconds later? But if they give specifically one thing, that is the vertex, what do you come up with first? What do you think? A quadratic equation, and you have a vertex.
C over 2A equal to the vertex.
Can you speak again louder?
Minus B over 2A minus 2 equal to the vertex.
Oh, so it's minus b over 2a. But it is a correct way of answering. But it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the very special kind of information we've learned. This is the x coordinate of a vertex, exactly. But it will be a bit, we'll come back to it later if we need, because it will be lengthy to come up with this, because if they ask for me to, what is the height in feet of an object 3 seconds later, which means I will have to form an equation. And if I have to form an equation and I have the vertex, what can I do? A quadratic equation, if I have the vertex and I need the equation, what do I do? Don't be shy. Anyone, give me the answer if you have it. It's a very simple question. All right, we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to answer it myself. All right, if you have the vertex, you have the coordinates of the vertex, and you need to calculate the 3 seconds later, which is to plug in the equation. If you want to plug in an equation, you have to have the equation itself. So how can you find out the equation? You have the vertex form of a quadratic equation. All right. You have the vertex form. So can anyone recall what a vertex form is? Anyone remember?
Ax squared plus bx plus c.
Ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the standard form. And the vertex form is the form which makes clear the vertex. All right.
A,
Y is, what is that, Lina?
A multiply x minus h square plus k.
Yes, exactly. Remember to have this minus because many people will forget this minus. And you have the vertex, right? You're going to have to plug them in. Y equals a x minus, what is it? Can you finish it, Lina?
7
7, exactly. Plus
plus 784.
784. Exactly, 784. And now, that is not it because you're still missing a value here, an a. Y is a x minus 7 plus 784. They give us one other clue. Just one very slight, just very cheeky, very small, bit tricky clue. 0 feet and reached its maximum from a 0 feet. They launched it from a height of 0 feet. So do we have another point here, another coordinate here, which is 0, 0? Because at the 0 time, the launching of the ball or an object, the launching time, which t is 0, and the height is 0. So this point is 0, 0, and they launch up, right? So you have this point, 2 points, and you simply plug in the 0, 0 point. You have 0 equals a x minus 0 minus 7 plus 784. And you have a is, see, 0 equals x (112). And you just plug them in. Y equals 112, x minus 7 plus 784, which is and what are they asking? What is the height? Height here is the y value after 3 seconds, t value. So it is height equals 112 times 3 minus 7 plus 784. 112 times 3 minus 7 plus 784. 336. All right. 336. Let's check. We've got the equation. All right. X is 0 minus 7 plus 784. 112. Why am I getting a different answer from my past results? Hang on a sec. Let's see. A x minus 7 plus 784. 0 is a. 0 is a. 0 minus 7. Starting from the point of 0, 0, 7, 784. Let's see. Wait, the vertex is 7 seconds. Yes, 7 seconds, 784 feet. 784. H and K. A x minus H plus K, 784. You plug in 0 and 0. What am I missing? 102. Plug in what was the height 3 seconds after it was launched. So it should be 3.
Oh, you missed the square.
Oh gosh, yes, I forgot the squared. Here, all right, thank you on that one. How did I miss it? Okay, so squared. Calculate it again. I'm gonna have to recalculate the a. X 0 minus 7 squared plus 784 minus 16. All right. It looks way more accurate because look, this pointing down, I find it a bit wrong, but I tried anyway. It pointed down, so a must be smaller than 0, but I'm getting a positive number, so it must be wrong at some point. So thank you for that. And h simply is minus 16 t minus, which is 3 minus 7 squared plus 784 minus 16 times t minus 7 squared plus 784. Oh god, it's 3. 528. All right, this is the result. Final result. Rough one. Okay, have everyone got this? Gosh, it's 18 minutes after hours. Okay, has anyone have any more question about this or anything in this lesson? Any more question? Let's see. All right, if you don't have any more question, then we will stop our class right now. Our today's class here and now. All right, so I will give you guys this file later, and I hope you guys will use it and review it later on, and I will upload, of course, upload this online so that you can check if there's any part that you don't understand. All right, this is I've bombarded you with quite a lot of mathematical concepts. So if you don't understand just one single part, just message me right away. I'll be happy to help. As long as you're willing to study, I'm happy to help. All right, so the class finished. If there's no more question. Okay, so
Do you have homework for today?
let's see. Today, I'm
Yes.
gonna have to check on my tab here. The homework I given out to you on the writing section. You remember the
Okay.
homework on the writing? Because
Yes, I
the
did.
next lesson is the writing, so the homework, the due homework will be the writing one. So, right.
Okay.
So I wish you guys a great day or great evening, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.
Yes, bye.
Bye.